100% of your relationships up until this point haven't worked out. And it's not because I don't believe in relationships. I do believe in them. Relationships are essential. Relationships are the cornerstones of what it is to be humans. That's what enabled us to survive in the wild back in the days. We didn't have the physical means, so we got together. Why do relationships don't work out for the most part? It's because of the expectations that we have for the people around us. For most of our lives, we were trained to look for happiness. We were trained to look for the other to make us happy. When something went wrong, we don't blame ourselves. We blame the circumstance. That also includes the people in our lives, and also people in our minds. We begin to allude certain roles to people that they don't even know they have. We begin to see people as our source of happiness, and if you disappoint me, it's your fault. And this is why you gotta pick the right person. This is why you gotta bring the right person. And so we all are in this predicament where we blame each other for our unhappiness. We do this because it's a habit. It's a human habit in society that we live in. We place so much glory on the opposite sex. That we are drawn to them, not because of biological reasons, but also for happiness. And that's a flaw. How could a blind lead the blind? You see, that's impossible. But we somehow deceive ourselves to do that. Now, let me show you how the brain works sometimes. When the brain wants something, it'll convince itself. It'll lie to itself simply to justify the means. So, when you want someone and you're unhappy, and you know this, and you see the signs of them that they're not a good partner, you're gonna overlook that. Simply because of your unhappiness, simply because of your neediness, you overlook the negative flaws in people. And so you go into relationships not to give, but to get. You're already going into the relationships with an empty cup. And the funny thing is that the other partner of yours, if they reacted to you, that means they reacted to your neediness, which means they have the neediness inside them as well. So both of you guys go into the relationship with an open cup. So now, it's not a relationship where you guys are giving. It's a relationship where you guys are trying to take from an empty chest chest where there's no gold, like a gold fucking chest, like gold chest. There's no gold inside, there's emptiness. So what does it happen? The fantasy that they had about you, which was valid because that's how the brain works, you use all these tactics, and he saw you as his source of happiness. He saw this magnificent figure that he wanted. And once he had you, the fantasy was over, and now he got to face reality, and you too as well. And what you see is that they're not the person who you thought they were. And once you're with them, you notice that that high you once felt is not there no more. And what's left? Your unhappiness. Now, you're not going to blame yourself for being unhappy. That's impossible. You can't blame yourself. It's never your fault. So what are you going to do? You're going to externalize your unhappiness. And this is the thing, is that the more unhappy you feel, the more unhappy your partner feels. The person feels like you're not being fair. And so he also has an empty cup. He also feels unhappy. So what is he going to do? He's going to retaliate. You guys are both attacking each other. Whenever you go into a relationship whenever you give the responsibility of someone to be your source of happiness, that's extremely unfair and extremely weak on your part. Extremely weak. Because you're never really going to take responsibility for your life. You're always going to blame the other person. Always. You're never going to grow. I don't give a fuck how nice it feels to be the victim. I don't give a fuck how wrong somebody did to you. It is counterproductive to blame somebody else for your problems. I find that I don't call women bitches often, but I find that a bitch move. That's a bitch move. You have to start taking responsibility. If you feel sad, if you're unhappy with a relationship, don't look at the person who's in front of you. Look at how you process in the situation. Because it all starts with you. All starts with you. It ends with you. You die. You come to this world alone. You die alone. No one is responsible for your happiness. Not your boss. Not your job. Not your boyfriend. Not Alex. Nobody. Not the circumstance. It's always you. You're the problem. Now look, yeah, sometimes bad things happen to us, but we always have the ability to control how we react. And so, if most people would just learn to become their own source of positive emotions, if most people learn how to bring happiness from within rather than looking at it from the outside, most relationships would be happy. Why? Let's say you feel unhappy and you're in a relationship. What are you going to do? Most of the time, your normal reaction is to blame the person. You're not with the right person. So what you're going to be doing differently from now on is just noticing your unhappiness. Just noticing it. Notice it. You know? Notice any form of unease. Notice it. Because if you don't notice it, what's going to happen is that's going to become like a virus in a computer. It's going to run underneath the surface. Some viruses take up a lot of RAM. So you'll notice that the computer is taking up a lot of space. It's slow. It's because there's a program running underneath the surface. You don't notice it. So that's what happens when you're unhappy. Your brain is always on overdrive. You're overstressed. And so what's going to begin to happen is that you're going to start noticing that a lot of the things that you were reacting to people weren't really there. It was all a figment of your imagination. And even better, you're going to start noticing that you're going to start having more compassion for people. Yeah, the person may scream at you, may get angry at you. You may feel like they got problems, but they're just unhappy. They're just as unhappy as you are. And the problem is that we tend to be very insensitive with each other. We only worry about our problems. And we don't even know why the person's reacting to us this way because we're so involved with ourselves. For example, let's say you came home from work again, you got mad because you had a long day at work and your wife cooked you bad dinner and whatnot. What would the woman do in the case if she was happy and she didn't react? If her anger didn't react and she was more present, what was gonna happen? She's gonna see that in reality you're not mad at her, but that you're just sad. You're depressed. You don't judge the person based on the action. You gotta judge the person based on the action, of course. But you know what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is that you just see a person who's hurt, and you have more compassion. You don't react to the circumstance. You just react. You just try to see what's really going on inside your head. And so rather than get angry at the person, you just say, hey, wait a minute, what's going on here? How was your day at work? Right? Even though that's never going to happen, right? Nobody's ever going to do that, right? But ideally speaking, I tend to do that sometimes, you know? And so if we have to go into relationships so full that we have no more other space but to give. Our cup has to be so full that anything more is overflowing. And so it's going to be a relationship where you both are giving. But we keep getting preached. I cannot wait to find someone so I can be happy. That's the last thing you want to do. The only thing that makes you happy is bringing awareness to your unhappiness. And bringing your awareness to your happiness and to all of the things that happen. It's just not feasible for a person to make you happy. And it's not that I'm being pessimistic. It's just not possible. And so you're going to begin seeing people for who they are because you begin to notice that it's completely unfair to give your happiness to somebody else, to make them responsible for your happiness. It's not right, man. And so yeah, once you fix this problem, which you have to do through meditation, you gotta learn how to meditate, become aware of your emotions, and the other way is to learn how to be present in every second of the day. And this is something that I try to practice often. I don't do it often. I don't try to be like most people say, oh yeah, I am 100% present all the time. I'm a saint. No, fuck that shit, man. Like, I struggle a lot with this. I'm better at it when I'm talking to girls, when I'm on dates, because it's required. But generally speaking, though, I gotta practice it more often. But what tends to happen is that, for example, like, you practice it on a daily basis through doing the little things, bringing awareness to the little things. So you drink in your cup, and you notice the warmth in your hand. You notice how it reflects from the light when you take a drink. You notice the sounds. You notice the taste. You even feel the coffee going down your throat. You see, and you're just more present. You notice you feel the little coffee thing right here. Like, you notice every detail. And so you can be so here, so in your senses, that there's no space for you to go into your mind and look for happiness. You're just here. So when you're talking to someone, to your partner, and they snap at you, you don't react according to the things that they've done to you or according to what happened to you. You're so fully present, by which I mean you're so aware of all of your senses that there is not enough space to look for thoughts. All you do is just see the person in front of you. And now you're not seeing the person through the eyes of the past. You see them with more compassion, with more love. And so when you see someone with actual compassion, you're able to understand them more. And their defense is lower. And right when you get to the point of the person lowering their defenses, that's when they can actually start also giving. And it's an ideal. I'm not saying that most people will do this. I'm not going to give you guys unrealistic expectations, but it's possible. It first starts with the first step. And it's not changing your partner. And not even changing yourself. But first accepting who you are today. Not by saying I accept myself, no. But by simply bringing attention to the parts of you that you've been trying to run away from. Bringing attention to the thoughts that hurt you most. Bringing attention to the emotions that bring most pain. Bringing attention to the emotions that bring most pleasure and that you don't want to let go of. See, that's the part that most people don't want to do. Bring your full attention to it. And so what you begin to notice is that life, things are just going to be a lot better. It's just the world is more alive when you're present. You have to go in there with a full cup to relationships. Don't go in there like, oh, I need you to be with me because I don't want to end up alone. You're really going in there broken. Please fix me. No.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys ever want to learn how to use your feminine energy to influence people, learn how to use your masculine energy to become more assertive, and also learn how to blend both energies to improve your dating life, your spiritual life, honestly, your relationship life, your family life, your career life, this is the course for you. If I had to make a course for my nieces, I have two nieces, one is 19 and one is 15. 16. Holy shit. Oh my God, he's a bad fucking uncle. He's a bad uncle. Get him. Shut up, Melissa. You should get this course, right? And this is the course that I will make for them. So, for example, watch the curriculum, right? In the first week, we're going to be showing you how to establish a strong masculine foundation without letting it hurt your feminine energy. This masculine foundation is a source of who you are, right? It's your bodyguard. Without this, whatever feminine energy you create will be destroyed by the outside, because your masculine is your shield. So we'll talk about goal setting. We'll talk about how to develop a serious attitude. We're gonna be talking about how to use more logic, how to use more goal-oriented behavior. It's more how to be a man, Now the next one is how to embrace the feminine energy, right? This one will teach you about how to minimize excessive masculine traits, developing self-awareness, healing abundant feminine energy, regulating your emotion, mastering voice qualities and facial expressions, surrendering control and allowing pain to be felt. This is honestly, this will supercharge, like Kaioken, your masculine energy. After that, we have femininity in the workplace and how to be feminine in the workplace without letting people take advantage of you, and the nuances of how women of power should behave versus women who are subordinates in the workplace, and even the dress code. This is based on psychology, people. It's kind of insane. I'm actually excited about this one. The next week, we talk about navigating the labyrinth of male and female friendship. And this, a lot of women find confusing, so we talk about that. And how to identify envious friends, how to identify the good friends, how to keep male friends, and how to keep female friends. Week 5, we talk about how to release the burden of the past and stop and destroy mental projections. This is actually really powerful. And then week 6, we talk about how to increase your observational power so that you could read people better. And we have a bunch of bonuses. The course starts at $99, and you guys can pre-order the course today at $69 before it goes out. If you're watching this, most likely I'm in the meditation retreat, so I will be praying for all of you guys. And just click on the description down below of the video. Right there, you'll see it, and you could pre-order that course. It's gonna be out by the end of next month or the beginning of February of March. One of the two people, because I have a 10-day retreat to do, and I want to finish the course after the retreat, because I think the ideas are gonna be so much better. All right, man. I'll see you guys later. Pre-order, man. Oh, I'm closing the channel.